Now, to get started with this blog, I want to get started by creating a new Django project. Of course, we could add it as an extra app to our existing challenges project, but it's not really related to that. And therefore, I'll again run Django admin start project and then any name of your choice, and I will name it my site because I will work on my own site and that site will contain a blog. So my site is the project and the blog will be an app in this site. And of course, theoretically, we could add more apps, more features to this site. We could also have an online shop, or maybe we have some consulting business where we then have a consulting app where users can book our consulting services and so on. And that's why I'll name the project my site, as it basically is the wrapper, the overall project, which then will hold different apps, in this case, the blog app. So therefore, I'll create this new project, and hence a new folder of that name was created in the path into which I navigated before in my terminal. And now I opened this newly created project in Visual Studio Code. Now, a couple of things which I already did there. I added a git ignore file because I will be using Git as a version control system. This is optional and not related to Django. And I do have my VS Code folder, my .vs code folder, with some settings here where I set the zoom level for recording this, but where I also have set my Python interpreter, which you also can do through the status bar as shown earlier in the course. I set the Python language server, and I also set my file associations for the Django extension, and I also added this extra line to make sure that these auto suggestions for example, creating that HTML skeleton also should work again in the templates. So that's my settings.json file, and you find this starting project also attached in case you want to make sure that you have the same settings there and so on. Besides that, I didn't do anything. So I haven't touched any Python files or written any Django related code. And therefore, indeed, I now want to get started doing that together with you now. As I mentioned, this My Site project will be for our entire site, and the blog will basically be a part of that site, we could say. And I therefore now want to add a new app to this project. And we can therefore open the terminal, this integrated terminal which we have in Visual Studio Code, and then run Python 3 in my case, or just Python if you only have one version installed, manage py, start app, and give it a name of blog, because I'm going to add a blog app, so this sounds like a fitting name. And that creates this new blog folder here. Of course, we can now also run Python 3 manage py run server to bring up that development server again. And for that, of course, make sure you shut down your other server in the challenges project, which we started before. So now here we got this blog app in our project. Now let's take a step back and think about what we actually want to build.